when Erika started going in on Sutton, excuse me, Erika? Well, this is the pot calling the kettle black of like, oh, you don't support other women when they're down. It's great that you admit that you were a mess over the last like couple of years, but now you're throwing stones yet still not acknowledging widows, orphans, burn victims. Speaking of other women. Oh, let's also like not forget too the that you said to Garcelle's son.
Yeah. This is not a show about women supporting other women. The concept of Housewives isn't. So they're all guilty. They're all backstabbers. But Erika is the last person. When she was Mrs. Girardi, she was horrible to the other women then too.
Even in the flashbacks, when Erika's saying, "Oh, you attacked me when I was down. You attacked Kyle," and the production, you know, they cut to clips of previous seasons. It didn't seem like what Sutton was saying to Erika was wrong. I guess the intention was to make it look like Sutton was attacking her. It just made Erika look bad.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
It's Thursday, so you know what that is.
What?
It's PCP Beverly Hills Day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so
Right.
excited.
Yeah, almost. We're almost to the end. Almost.
We have
What are
we have one more episode next week and then the reunion. So
yeah.
Okay. And then we're gonna switch, obviously, because then Beverly Hills will end. We're gonna start doing the Valley. Is that correct? Right?
818.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the Valley. So
why has anything interesting happened with those people on that show? I don't feel like there has.
It's really a mellow show about good quality, wholesome people. But
yeah.
And two more good quality, wholesome people are joining the show. So yay.
Oh, well, let's get through these last probably 4 to 5 episodes of Beverly Hills, depending on how long the reunion is. All right, second to last before the finale, St. Lucia, starting with glam.
Of course.
Glam.
Well, they went right into this episode. Opens with a group. I didn't realize that there were going to be two
functions,
2 tense sit downs. Usually it's one at the end, and then we got through this one, which will open with a group dinner on land, and then later on came the boat, and I was like, oh. But I guess we should let's start with the group dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
That was fun.
Okay, well, first of all, Garcelle and Kyle wearing the same, I'm sorry, ugly dress. I was gonna like that dress.
I was gonna say Garcelle made the joke about how, you know, Kyle's upgraded. I think she actually said she's come a long way. And I was looking at both
did the cigarette,
like
the Virginia slips.
Yeah, it's like, no, Garcelle, you may have fallen down. I don't think she came.
I mean,
up.
Garcelle's fashion has not been praised like ever, at least on social media. I had no idea I think it's not like I think Kyle's super stylish either, but they're among the two that get critiqued the most for how they dress.
Yeah,
they don't serve, as we say. So I was like, I didn't realize Garcelle had such confidence about her style over the other ladies, because that's not how the world views it. But
yeah, I would agree there. Yeah, and I love Garcelle. I ride hard for Garcelle, but I would agree. And I hate that dress. I don't even think it looked good on Alexia when they flash back to Alexia. I just don't think. I think empirically it is a bad dress.
Yeah,
I don't care who made it.
Very prom, very homecoming. Very yeah.
No.
But like, where am I going? Yeah. I mean, we get it. We get Dorit versus Sutton versus there was a lot of people revealing themselves in this scene.
Well, speaking of revealing, which I'm sure you don't really want to talk about, but Jennifer Tilly talking about getting naked on stage on Broadway.
I was gonna I don't remember how that conversation started about the being nude around, because
Dorit wouldn't be nude.
In the shower. They were talking about when they were first. They talked about Bose is like, you can be, you could take this outdoor shower, and then Dorit says, I don't even like being naked around my husband, which they all thought was weird. But I mean, Jennifer Tilly, what a flex. She's like, oh, I was naked once on Broadway.
Yeah.
What a flex.
But then that was weird too, because even in the after show, she talked about how like she could be naked on Broadway, but she couldn't be naked in front of her boyfriend at the time. In
Yeah.
fact, she would get up at 5 a.m. and put on a full face of makeup and brush her teeth and like put on like, but so that he wouldn't see her without. And now she's like, I don't give a. She's like, everything wobbles and wibbles, and I'm bigger now. But she's like, I don't care. Like, who cares? And I was like, that's the great thing about getting older. Certain things I hate, but other things you just don't give a.
She
flying
was
fuck
when
anymore.
she was describing her morning routine when she was with that guy, I was picturing like a silk robe with the feathered, very fit old you know, it was
very the women.
yeah, very like I think Erika said in the after show, this is like very 1950s. It's exactly what I was picturing. And it was like, yeah.
Mhm.
Was she I didn't catch if she gave any more details. Was that somebody? She said he was British and it would have been around 2001. Was it somebody famous?
She wasn't hinting at that because my first thought was like Hugh Grant. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fun couple.
Yeah, I was honestly, and then the way she spoke about it, it wasn't like she was hinting that it was someone she was withholding. It just sounded like it was a guy who happened to be British.
Yeah.
But she does that humble thing so often that it could have been like Patrick Stewart or somebody, you know, bad example. But you know,
could have been like Richard Branson or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, I dated a British guy back in the day. Then you look it up, you're like, holy hell, really? Him? Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
But we should get into the conflict. I mean, it's segue because it started out so peacefully. They don't usually start with a group dinner at the beginning of the episode. That's what the buildup is.
Well, I think the problem was because they're stuck in the, you know, most of an episode is the buildup, but it's all the women in different locations meeting for shopping, doing this, that. They're all together. They can't separate.
Yeah.
The best they can do are these talks on the couches in their own rooms where it's like 3 and 3 the next morning or something, but they're still right next to each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was, it's just like the way it started caught me off guard because they're just all sitting down and then unless editing, I don't know, it just Dorit just turns to Sutton. It's like, so
I some of that, if Garcelle does it the most, it's like it's just like a producer's just saying in their ear, okay, start it now, because they the fights come out of nowhere. Prior to this dinner, when all the women are going through glam, like several of them said, I just want a nice night, I don't want to fight. And then Dorit brings that up just out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, she wasn't. This was my thing too. It also was a return to like old Dorit of just not letting the mouse go, of like, you know, Sutton. Look, Sutton was not having anything about it. She was defensive AF, and she apologizes for the wallet. And I really appreciated Bose saying, yo, Dorit, shut up. Like, look, she's actually apologizing for this. Like, why are you not accepting this apology? But for Dorit, she wants everything. She was like, she wants to bring out oh, fuck, I just lost her name for the moment. From the Greek woman from Salt Lake City. God damn,
Angie.
Angie. She wants to bring out the Angie like scroll of like, you know, of like, you did all these things to me and I want you to answer for them right now. But she won't accept that apology. And it's like, girl, sometimes you got to take them as they come. Like, just take the one that you're getting right now, however you think it is. Like, but she just wants to talk.
Where I made a connection with what Erika was saying about this, is Erika has it in for Sutton. She's the one who's not going to let it go. And when she was talking about how Sutton apologizes a lot and you don't know if she's sorry for her action, you know, she's like, she does a lot and then apologizes a lot and you don't know what to believe, the bad part or the apology. And I was like, Ramona Singer, another one who Sutton reminds me of. Do you remember Ramona, the apologizer, they used to call her?
Mm-hmm.
It was always, they do too have that kind of awkward, they can be very abrupt. And then suddenly, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah. Sutton's like
Yeah,
a
but
Sutton's
that
like a
is true.
mix of different people to me. There's a little Shannon Bedore. Now I didn't see the Ramona before. I don't quite. It's more the apologies, not the personality. But I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just well, it's also like, yeah, I do think that Erika has it in for Sutton, which I find incredibly. I also find it ironic that that Erika's like, oh, Sutton doesn't apologize. I'm like, excuse me, like you apologize very much, Erika. Let's just we've got more to talk about Erika later on this episode, but she's been flying under the radar all season long. Good for her. We've kind of appreciated it, but at the same time, girl, karma's coming back to like slap you in the face this episode. I'm sorry. With every I think all like the people, all the viewers are like, excuse me, what? What did you just say, Erika? Because let's just go back to who the fuck you are
Mhm.
and what the fuck you've done. So, yeah. Anyway, widows and orphans. Yeah. But it just is. Dorit just what do you want? Also, Dorit doesn't tell us what she wants out of that conversation. What do you want?
Yeah.
I don't know. She apologized. Is that good
And,
enough?
and
Apparently not.
she said she accepts that apology, but it's like she wants other apology. She's like, okay, I accept your apology for that. What about this?
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah, no, those two, I think Sutton and Dorit are made for each other because neither of them lets it go. Neither of them listens. Neither of them can. They're having two, they are always, whether it's with other people or each other, but when they're together, they are literally having two separate conversations at each other. That's how they both communicate. So, yeah, I like it. I like that they don't. I mean, they're good. I think they're equally matched energy wise. We're not talking about alphas necessarily. Well, Dorit's gotten a little stronger this season, but they're like equally vapid, equally kind of
Hey,
all over the place.
Shut your mouth. You had me until vapid.
Yeah.
Don't talk about his lady love
Don't
like
talk
that.
about my lady.
But it's not like you know, it's not like say like Eric, to me, Erika and Sutton wouldn't be a match. Erika is very dominant. You know what I mean? Dorit and Sutton operate on the same frequency. So I love seeing them fight at each other.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, then later on, like we hear the story about Bose seeing Mo at the Soho Beach House on a double date, and then telling Kyle about it, which was interesting in the after show. How many of the women were like, especially like Erika and Sutton, saying like they wouldn't have said anything, and I was like, excuse me, like I appreciated everything that Bose did, and I love the fact that Bose played part of her that Bose played her voice note back in her confessional part. I was like, yes, because that's what I would want to know.
First off, what kind of psychopath leaves a 3-minute voice note?
Hi.
Yes.
I break them up. That
Okay.
would be
No, I was gonna say I'm not sure which is worse. Stacy, you leave 2.5-minute long ones. Jordan just leaves 7 30-second ones.
Yeah.
In a row.
Okay.
In a
So
row.
that way you can digest the beginning because it's going to keep going and going. So you need
You guys are lucky though, because I leave literally like 10-minute long ones for like one of my friends, Dahlia, who I do the astrology ones with sometimes. She and I leave like 7-10-minute long ones to each other, and it's the perfect conversation because we get everything out and we don't have to like talk over each other. It's fabulous.
I like them broken up so that I can because I have absolute ADD, so there's no way I'm gonna. I don't. Yeah, no.
Oh, every one of yours teases the next one because you'll finish it with like, hold up while you're collecting your thoughts. And then it rolls into the next one.
It's like a Beverly Hills dinner party. I give you to be continued.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to collect my thoughts with you guys on the
Yeah,
line. I'm
yeah.
like, no, let me
There's
just
some
work it out.
awkward,
Let me just
there's
work
some
it out.
awkward pauses, but it's
Yeah, on
okay.
mine you just hear like a
Because I'm
lighter
awkward.
flicking, and then God damn it, and then
Oh yeah, we hear you pacing around outside the Sugar Suite.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Is there? Bose mentioned that she said Mo was sat so close to her that it was she was using at the table. She said as close as I am to Sutton
Mhm.
right now. Is there a chance that Mo didn't know who she was? Like
Quite
in the
possibly. I
timeline?
thought about
Okay.
that because at this point Mo is separated, moved out as the show had
Yeah.
already started filming. Bose, even if she's on, he might be aware of her at this point because at this point the cast may have been announced, or would it? We knew about Bose at that point so publicly, but overall he wouldn't have crossed paths with her before.
Right.
So
Right. And even if he were around for filming, I mean, the whole point was that Kyle and Bose weren't really close. Like they didn't do much together. So I was just curious because if he knew who she was and they were sat 5 feet from each other, that would be awkward.
yeah.
Mhm. It's also like a very savvy move of Bose to do that for Kyle because it can go one of two ways. It could either push Kyle further away and go like, "Why are you doing this to me? This is horrible, tragic," or pull her in closer, being like, "That's a good girlfriend to like come and tell me that like you're seeing him out, especially after the pictures and everything like that." It's not that like Bose is coming to her and being like, "I don't know you very well, but girl, but I've seen, and you're still married, and I see your man." No, you're separated. This woman, like, you need to know. It's time to move on, girl.
Yeah.
And so,
Because
like,
in the
you
after
know,
show, some of them were trying to paint Bose as having done something wrong, like hurt her. No, the not okay. I do think like part of it when she was forcing it a little, like when she's like, even though we're not friends, I would have stabbed him for her. Or what I was like, okay,
yeah,
that was a bit
no.
much. But I think what she was saying is this is our bond. This is my gift to you, my gesture to you as a
Yes.
friend. And that helped them forge. And they would want to know knowledge is power. When people are like, I wouldn't have told Kyle, that would have been vile. That would have been betraying her. The ones who were saying
I agree.
that. Especially if they're that close together and Mo gets his photo taken so often, how weird would that be if Bose was in the background of a photo?
Yeah.
Well, so I say to that, wouldn't that be weird? Because the two people who definitely said that they wouldn't do it, who are close to Kyle, are Erika and Sutton.
Right.
So what if Sutton was in the background of that picture, or Erika? Like, if I was Kyle, I would be kind of pissed. I was like, I can't believe you didn't tell me about this.
Well, I would also have been in the background of the picture too.
Well, then I couldn't believe that you didn't tell Kyle about that.
I might be blurred out because I'm not entirely sure I would sign the release. So it might be Sutton and blurred out man, but I would be there.
I wonder if Sutton was annoyed by that, saying she wouldn't have done it and stuff, because here comes Bose, who, as this episode explores and we're about to get into, Sutton's desperate need for Kyle's friendship. And here comes Bose, this newbie who's friends with Dorit, who Kyle is just accepting this sensitive information from with open arms. And how jealous Sutton gets? Just probably like, why not me? If I said that, I'd be sent packing to Augusta. Like they really don't. Yeah.
Sutton keeps getting attacked fairly about how she wanted, the sisterhood, where she said, women, we all need to support each other. Women need to support each other. And all the other women are like, well, you don't support any of us. Bose does. Bose is like ride or die for all of them. The whole season she's been ride or die for Dorit. But even in that argument where Sutton apologized and Dorit just tried to move, like, Dorit tried to do a Dorit, and Bose turned on her supporting Sutton. And now Bose is helping Kyle in this situation, even though the whole season the two of them haven't been close. Like, Bose is ride or die. Like, she is the one supporting women. She's the only one supporting all the women.
Amen to that. My gosh, it's like dude, what was the riverboat brawl? It's like the riverboat brawl. Like, Bose is like the one is like, wait a minute, somebody messed with my friend, like, I'm coming in. Like nah, this is how we roll. Like, yeah, and I love it.
Wait, I'm trying to gather my thoughts on this, because this one we have. So you had Dorit versus Sutton. Which, okay, yeah, we're used to it. It's like the 12th time. But
Mhm.
they obviously didn't listen to me because we were recording but did I not call it earlier this season when I gave my advice and said that Sutton and Garcelle need to break up?
I mean, I said, "Ask and you shall receive," like, and you got what you wanted. You've
I
manifested
did. I
this.
was watching this episode. Now, the one thing is, if you listen back, well, maybe she will be the one to drop her. Fingers crossed. I wanted Garcelle to dump Sutton. I didn't want Sutton's feelings to get hurt. I'm sorry. I didn't want Garcelle's feelings to be, I was more thinking of, I would love to see Garcelle blow up on Sutton. That would be amazing. But no,
That's
I mean, there's a, what is it? What did Beyonce say? Love is like a mirror. You can fix the crack, but it's you can still see it with a I forgot which one.
well, that'll be next season's big
Yeah.
storyline.
Yeah. So they're breaking up. But the thing is about it too is Garcelle kind of revealed her cards in her confessionals. She was talking Lisa
so?
Rinna, Housewives storyline style. You do realize what she was essentially saying is she's hurt because Sutton and her had planned this kind of a Morgan attack on Kyle again, and she went in and Sutton changed course. And
Mhm.
it was literally I was like, okay, all housewives do that, but she's saying the quiet part out loud. And all I could see was that
Mhm.
Lisa Rinna gif going, there goes our fucking storyline. She's
Mhm.
literally spelling out why she's hurt because she's saying we had talked about it off camera. We had talked about this. We talked about it last year. Like she's literally spelling out that her storyline
They
got
talked about it
squashed.
on camera.
Yeah.
They talked about it on
Last
camera,
week.
like,
So,
yeah.
so
And
she's
so
like
it's like
revealing her what she was talking about was the storyline. And I was like, oh, she's really breaking the fourth wall here. But that's where her frustration was.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then when she brought up Morgan, and then Erika just decided to take the pot shot about how we don't know anything about Garcelle's love life, but she peaked in the 90s. That 90s roster that she had, that was pretty impressive. Like
I was I just I think y'all know I kind of ride or die for Garcelle. Like I'm not a stan. I don't stan any of these housewives, but I just was like, excuse me, bitch. Excuse
Yeah.
me. What did you just say? You ex stripper turned trophy wife to a shyster lawyer, like who then bought you an entertainment career? Excuse me. Who's on your roster, Erika? A bunch of like personal trainers and bartenders? I don't fucking know. Like here's Garcelle, this amazingly beautiful woman, Haitian immigrant who became a fucking model and actress on her fucking own. Like, hello. And she's been in fucking movies and on television shows and dated A-list actors. Shut up. Shut up, Erika. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Oh my God.
even the okay, yeah, maybe these are okay, peaked in the 90s, fine. But all the men that like Eddie Murphy, was it Eddie Murphy? She didn't name him, but Michael Jordan,
Mhm.
Eddie Murphy, Will Smith,
Johnny Depp.
quickly mentioned Johnny Depp that she made out with, kind of quickly mentioned Sean Penn, but we should just go right past that one because that's not good. But those are a lot of celebrities that were like she dated Eddie Murphy at like his apex.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, it was in the 90s or the 80s, but that's still it was the height of his fame. So if she's dating these men at their heights, which is even more impressive. I don't care that it was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Like, look, most of us dated the most impressive people of our lives when we were in our 20s. Let's be
And
real
they
here.
weren't A-list stars.
Right? Like, oh my gosh. But like, Erika, just go focus on your wallpaper and screwing over your costume designers. Like, Jesus Christ. That was like, if she had said that out loud, that would be as bad as the wallet comment from Sutton, in my opinion. I was like, who are you talking about, Erika? Shut up.
Yeah, the dating dig was off, kind of like the wallet comment. But I mean, we do. Garcelle doesn't share a lot about her life. I think that's where it was going. Her role in the show is not so much a group player. You know, her life scenes are her with her sons, or her on set, or her at the beach house. But her personal life is not mixed into the show the way the others are. So that's where I was like, I get where Erika was coming from, but also Erika, who hid so many things and continues to do so.
Yeah.
So they're not the right ones to deliver. But Garcelle, well, now that she's not protecting Sutton, though, I'm so excited for Garcelle. This is the path I wanted for her.
Well, there's two things that come up for me, like when you were talking about Garcelle. I was like, one is that, you know, we also don't know how much gets filmed and then gets cut out of the edit. So we don't know how much is filmed about Garcelle and then gets cut because they're like, this isn't very interesting. And two, I just lost the second thought of that. God damn it. There was another part. And this is just me defending Garcelle. But but sometimes there's not enough time. Like there are certain players, like I wouldn't consider, as much as I love her, I don't consider her like the above the title housewife, if that makes sense.
Garcelle?
Like
Right,
Garcelle.
yeah.
Like
she's not the
like
anchor.
Kyle Richards is Kyle Richards is above the title housewife. Even like I would say years before Erika was above the title, but she's kind of slipping right now because she's not bringing it either. Let's get real here. But like Dorit is now an above the title one, whereas before she was below the title. So, you know, it's just kind of that thing. She doesn't have as much to give. I also don't, this was the second part. I don't think that Garcelle is trying to manufacture storylines for herself, while like other housewives sometimes do.
But where the critique with that is she tries manufacturing house storylines in other housewives' lives. The Morgan
that's
thing.
a very Lisa Rinna type of thing to
which
do.
is what I'm saying. She played her
I know,
cards, and it was very Lisa Rinna, where she's describing her frustration with trying to push the story about Kyle that she had planned in advance. And that's where I was like, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like in the after show too, Kyle said, because she's frustrated with Garcelle's pushing for that Garcelle came to the women with that she didn't want Oliver discussed. I mean, so Garcelle does put limits on her personal life too.
Well, I also think the thing with Oliver is that she didn't want Oliver to be discussed by the other women. She discussed Oliver herself in her own confessional. So I think it's kind of, I agree, but I also think it's a little different. But whatever. That's just me. That's just me loving on Garcelle. I do think though, Garcelle is playing producer's pet about the whole Morgan thing. But I do think though this is something that like we do want to know about as the audience, because it is out there. You know, I mean, look, back in October, this past October, granted they weren't filming then, but there were all these rumors that Kyle was putting an offer on a house in Nashville to be closer to Morgan. I mean, granted that wasn't the words, but
I have a PCP fun fact about that.
Go on.
I do believe Kyle actually did purchase the house in Nashville recently.
See? So Kyle bought a house in Nashville. Whether or not it was that same house that she put an offer on, we're not sure,
I don't know the house, but I do believe. You know, I know. Just like Lisa Vanderpump, Life in Beverly Hills. What is it? Life in Beverly Hills is who you know. Well, guess what? I did hear from very real inside sources. I think Kyle did close on a house in Nashville, Reese. And that's where Morgan is based. That's all I'll leave it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like they send me floor plans and stuff, but when I heard that, I was like, oh. Yeah. So I guess Morgan's not going away then. And you know, too, I mean, this is like a side note for me. I don't know the house, which eats me up inside. But you know, she didn't just buy like some 2-bedroom backwoods shack. How many millions did she drop on that one? But yeah,
I don't know. Does the agency have an office there? Because probably Mo helped her buy it
God.
too. You know what I mean?
I didn't even think of that. And I don't know. And that's the other thing too. Another side note, I mean, if you're in the middle of a separate, you don't want to keep putting your name on assets and houses and taking out mortgage. I mean, very complicated. Their divorce is beyond me. It's not cutting. It's not like we're
Yeah.
separated. Here's your, But yeah, so that's what I did here. She did buy a house in Nashville.
So she bought. So I don't blame Garcelle for like asking the questions that everybody wants to know. I do blame Sutton though for just pandering to Kyle in her big eyes. Well, I do hope that story ends up well for you.
She said it like
and
3 times.
Garcelle, I could just see her face. She was to watch the Sagittarius try to bite her tongue. Oh my fucking God. She was so pissed. The way that after dinner, she was, I could tell she wanted to yell at her, but couldn't do it on camera. But the way that she walked out and she stubbed her toe as she was walking out, that's how pissed off she was. Oh my God.
I would love for anybody to look at me the way Sutton was looking at Kyle. I would especially love for Sutton to look at me the way that Sutton looked at Kyle. But that longing, I mean, it was like puppy dog eyes. And then she even, in a confessional, she was even like, see, Kyle and I are friends. Ha, proved it to like she was just wanted so badly to be accepted.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was
sad.
sad.
And she said it like 3 times in this breathy voice. Like, I do hope you have a happy ending, Kyle. I do, or a good story, whatever. Like she just kept, I was like, yeah. It's cute. I mean, it's cute. We've established that Sutton is insecure. By the way, these aren't digs. I'm not trying to pile on. I'm just trying to, she's a bit insecure and a little bit of a social, these are all things. She finally had that validation. She couldn't buy Kyle's love with her big wallet or comparable wallet. We're talking Kyle and Sutton. She finally got it though, so for a few minutes, for a couple scenes. But yeah. And yeah, that really, I wonder, my thinking with Garcelle was, obviously she's thinking, Garcelle has been a very good friend to Sutton. That's something I don't deny. That's why I would always said Garcelle should dump Sutton, because I do think Garcelle's a better friend, as we saw. But there was also the like Sutton's kind of her pipeline into her anchor. Like you said, she's kind of lost in the mix a little. There's Kyle and Dorit, and then the others. Sutton. It was almost literally, actually, they're at a dinner table. Like Sutton was dropping her for the popular Mean Girls. Like literally in that moment.
Yeah. And that's how Garcelle felt. That's again why I love Garcelle so much, because I felt for Garcelle in that moment. I was like, I know, I've been there before. And I do think though that Garcelle could take a note off of Bose, because of the way that, Bose is new to this group, and she has been, and she did align herself with Dorit early on, but she seems to have easily realized that no, I can maintain a friendship with Dorit, but I do need to ingratiate myself with the other women, especially with Queen Bee Kyle. And so she's done that. And I think Garcelle could take notes and try to do some stuff like that in order to not be so tied to Sutton, so that if things go south with Sutton, she still has people. Although I will say this, maybe if things go south with Sutton, maybe things would perk up with other women though.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think it prevents her from having friendships with the other cast, because she's been on like 5 seasons now, and there still feels like a bit of she's off to the side sometimes. And I think it is because it's her connection to everything is through the lens of how it affects her relationship with Sutton. And I think dropping her, fingers crossed, when security's called at that reunion. No, I'm just... No, but I do think she'd be, she doesn't have to carry Sutton, which, by the way, yes, it was at this dinner, I almost died when Sutton said, I'm not going to babysit a grown woman. She said that to Garcelle, who has been her grown woman babysitter. That would be like Sutton saying, I'm not going to coddle a drunk woman. I won't coddle a drink. Like, God.
Well, I think we should talk about, because the next day on the boat, that, you know, Garcelle let Sutton dangle in the wind,
Well,
you
I
know?
was
well,
proud of
even
her for
even
that.
before even before that, before the boat, they had like the morning after chat where they're having
Mhm.
breakfast outside and Avi was setting it up. And you were expecting, I think Garcelle was expecting Sutton to apologize for railroading her the night before. And Sutton not only didn't really apologize, she went back to Garcelle's side and said, "Oh, yeah, we should talk about Morgan." And Garcelle's like, "Well, why didn't you fucking say that last night?" So I'd be
Mhm.
even more pissed with Sutton the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Wrote down that. I'm trying
then the
to-
boat.
The boat.
Boat
Oh,
finale.
wait. Before we get into the drama of the boat, can we get into something?
Uh-huh.
Kathy boarding the boat. Kathy getting settled
Oh,
in for
yes.
the lunch.
Mm,
I've
Well,
yeah.
even that the night before, when Kathy answered her phone from Carol, her brand manager,
it's her
and then just
assistant.
left Carol.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
They made, yeah.
The way they choreographed that too, because she was getting ready, she set the phone down, and you were like, oh, the way she put the phone down, she's still going to be on the line this entire time.
I mean, that editing was great. I'm sure she
Yeah.
picked up the phone maybe 5 minutes after she set
Yeah.
it down, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I did love this. Was like it wasn't too long of a segment, but it really did. I got to tell you guys, it captured, you know, my impressions of Kathy and all that.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not crazy. The whole
Mhm.
production. I like when the producer asked Jennifer Tilly, "Does she think you're the help?"
Yeah.
She's like, "I don't think she knows who I am."
Yeah.
That was
And
so
she
good.
she did it she did it in her Kathy impression, which is not a particularly good Kathy impression, but it's an amazing impression of you doing a Kathy impression. So I text you guys as I was watching. I'm like, I don't think this is a great impression, but it's a really good one of you
Yeah.
doing Kathy.
It's the essence. It's the essence.
It's the
of
essence.
Kathy.
Yeah. She even did the laugh. She even did the ha 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 ha.
Jennifer, love, can you pass that? What else do you have going on in your pathetic little life?
She wouldn't even say Jennifer. She'd be
Yeah.
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
brunette lady
She'd be
over
like,
there.
I thought you were no.
My Chinese cousin over there."
When I did, and too, it was funny when see, everyone caught it. Like Kyle in her confessional right after was like, she'll do it to anyone. She'll do it to an Oscar nominee. If you're an earshot, she'll make you do things for her. I was like, yeah.
Well, Jennifer's an Oscar nominee.
Is that who she was referring to?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because Kathy
Yeah.
like goes to like, because Kathy goes to like Vanity Fair and stuff, Oscar party. I was like, I wonder if she's had like Nicole
She's-
Kidman like go get a refill for
You
her. Like
She
was-
probably would
yeah,
still.
she would.
She was just generically referring to an Oscar. I thought the same thing at first because I was like, I didn't think of Jennifer Tilly. I'm like, who the hell got an Oscar nomination in this cast? I was like, oh, of course, Jennifer.
You know, I literally
Mhm.
pictured her like and having Nicole. Nicole, could you be a doll? I need to love you.
But she'd
you,
call Nicole.
sweetie.
She'd be like, "That British redhead over there. Can you go get me something?"
Thank you, sweetie.
I mean, I find Jennifer Tilly endlessly entertaining, and
Mhm.
I hope they bring her back as a friend. I don't know if that's even in the conversation yet. But the way she almost pulled a wallet comment but not on purpose. Like when I don't know who it was that complimented her earrings. I think it might have been Bose or somebody, and she's like, "Oh yeah, these are Dolce and Gabbana, but they're one of one. You can't get it." And she even called herself out. She's like, that sounded really obnoxious, didn't it? So she basically did the wallet thing by accident.
Mhm.
She's like, oh, you guys can't afford this.
Do you think?
Or you can't have it.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
have it.
Do you think behind the scenes Jennifer Tilly is a little when it's Jennifer and Tilly like on the phone late Jennifer and Tilly, Jennifer and
Jennifer and
Sutton
Tilly.
late at night that they're really like that. Like the Jennifer it's a little more fun. Yeah.
She's just delightful.
Yeah, no, she honestly is.
Yeah. I did say right before they got on the boat, though, they were taking some thirst trap pictures. And Nate, I think Sutton was thirst trapping for you.
Those are the most awkward thirst trap. At least she was sort of in on the joke of being awkward because they were like, "No, open mouth," and she
And then
just
she's
does the really weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I thought she was.
I would kill to see Sutton try to do that Jennifer Tilly movie wife. You know, you'll see it one day, Sutton. But I just can't imagine her laying seductively on a pillow in her boudoir.
Yeah, she's too awkward.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You'll just have to.
You'd have some like.
You'll just have to tell us someday, Nate.
You'd have some like
I
pointy
will.
elbow up. She'd be like, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell my story
My
one day. don't worry.
money.
It was a random thing when they were getting on the boat, and I don't know if this was just a dig at they think Sutton looks unhealthy, but the weight thing where they were getting on the boat and Erika just out of nowhere says, "What do you weigh now? Like 100?" And it was just kind of, and she's like, "No, 111, 112." And I think Erika then tried to diffuse it by being like, "Oh, I'm 128." But it was just a weird thing to say because as we kind of joke about her skinny legs, her bird legs and everything, but nobody's kind of made the point that Sutton looks unhealthy. And I felt like saying, not just the fact that she said, "What do you weigh, 100?" was sort of implying that she looks too skinny.
I thought it was a compliment. I thought it was like a girl to girl, like I'm checking
But
you out.
it didn't
you
have
look
the
good.
feel of, but no, she didn't say you look, to say somebody, if they weigh 100 pounds, that just to me was like, oh, you look too skinny.
You're such a straight man.
Yeah.
like no, like in kind of like girl Beverly Hills world, like, do you weigh 100?
Yeah.
It's more like
Okay.
I'm
All right.
jealous of how fucking thin
Okay,
you are.
Yeah,
fair.
that's what
fair.
I think it was more like
Yeah.
like, do you have an eating
think
disorder? I'm jealous. Share your tips.
Oh, yeah.
There's other ways I've heard it where it could be a little bit more of like, it didn't ping me in that way because I've heard
It
weight
just seemed out of
comments.
nowhere. It was just a weird, I guess because she was standing in front of her, so she just thought to comment on it. But
when Erika said what she weighed, I was like, God damn it, I'm a fucking heifer over here. Like 150. I was like, God damn. I was like, no wonder I can't make it in this town. I'm too fucking big. I'm like, no matter what. Although I will say, like, Erika's legs are to die for. I love Erika's legs. I am so jealous of them. I don't even care how much body makeup she puts on them. Like the shape of them is just, I want her legs, but whatever. That's fine. I've got my soul, which is a lot cleaner. Anyhow, let's go to the boat.
Yeah.
Because fucking boat rides. Fucking even Kathy called it at the end of the episode. It was like these boats.
Yeah,
I can't even just
they're not working. Yeah. She's like,
no, there's no escape. You can't, like, Sutton always gets accused of just running off, kind of like Shannon Bedore, just runs away. You can't run away from a boat. I mean, you could jump off, which would make for great TV if Sutton just dove. Sutton was so uncomfortable, she just dove into the ocean.
You guys, you neither one of you, I don't think have ever seen. I know you haven't, Nate, but I don't know about you, Jordan. I've never seen the season. I think it was season 3 of Below Deck. The original Below Deck. There was a stew named Rocky who literally lost her shit, and she was like, I quit, I leave, and she jumped off the fucking boat.
I feel like, did they, during like a commercial break on the Peacock, did they show that? Because that sounds
it's
familiar.
a famous scene.
They might have.
It
is.
Because I know, like, I can't remember if it was just an ad or what, but I feel like they showed, and it was clearly from Below Deck because the next shot was somebody in like a uniform. But I feel like I've seen that. Like, just saw it.
She took off her uniform. She took off her mic pack, everything, and she dove and she swam over to another boat. She was like, I am done with this.
That's
it
what
was one of the greatest moments in Bravo history ever.
I would have 100% done that.
I mean, look, if I was Sutton, I might have done that if there was a boat close by. But like, I don't know if Sutton wasn't going to ruin her makeup or like those hair extensions.
And we don't know if she can swim with those fragile legs.
I was just thinking that. I'm like, she has bird legs, but not aquatic bird legs. That's the problem.
No, exactly. She doesn't have duck legs. She has like flamingo legs.
And
Flightless.
she does have like flamingo legs. So this
Oh,
boat
man.
trip, so besides everyone agreeing that Kathy is the idea of Kathy is the same, it's Erika versus Sutton.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which when Erika started going in on Sutton, and for all of Sutton's flaws, I was like, excuse me, Erika? Well, this is the pot calling the kettle black of like, oh, you don't support other women when they're down. I was like, excuse, I'm sorry, Erika. Like, it's great that you admit that you were a mess over the last like couple of years and everything like that, but now you're throwing stones yet still not acknowledging widows, orphans, burn victims. Like, speaking of like widows, speaking of other women, like knocking other women down, like burn victims, like knocking other women down. And also like, oh, let's also like not forget too, sorry, going back to even Garcelle, like, oh, the shit that you said to Garcelle's son
Yeah.
too, when you were up, like, shut up sometimes. Like, you are so not supportive at times. Just because you've kept your mouth quiet and been trying to be zen for the last year and a half, fine, that's great, but that doesn't make you motherfucking Teresa. So I'm over it. No, I was not having it. I was not. I also, and let me just get this out real quick. I also think that Garcelle and Sutton, in my opinion, are truth tellers, and they say a lot of the stuff that other people are thinking and not saying out loud in front of other people. And that's a really hard person to be. Now, I don't think that Sutton says it in the best way a lot of times. Garcelle can say it a little bit more with a little bit more tact a lot of the times, but it's hard to be that person who says the thing that everybody is thinking out loud. It's hard to be that truth teller at times. And so Sutton gets jumped on a lot of the time because also she doesn't hold her composure very well when she is backed into a corner. Her brain
She's
gets
Shannon
a little
Bedores.
fried. And
She's Shannon
exactly.
Bedores.
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of times I agree with what she's saying. Like, even though it can be harsh, I'm like, you're right though.
Like, I don't think Erika's the best. That's an issue with Housewives too, because honestly, no one's hands are clean. Everyone, basically, this is not a show about women supporting other women. The concept of Housewives isn't. So they're all guilty. They're all backstabbers. So there's no role model or a right messenger. But I do agree with how Erika, the sweet act, I'm here to help you, then 2 dinners later she brings up like an article. But Erika, like you said, is the last person. Even at her height, she wasn't. When she was rich, when she was Mrs. Girardi, she was horrible to the other women then too. I mean, she came on the bad bitch, the villain. That was her. So there's never really been a time, except when she was down and out, she was kind of tender or sensitive to other people.
Even in the flashbacks, when Erika's saying, "Oh, you attacked me when I was down. You attacked Kyle," and the production, they cut to clips of previous seasons, and it didn't seem like what Sutton was saying to Erika was wrong or bad.
No.
Like those clips, I guess the intention was to make it look like Sutton was attacking her. It just made Erika look bad.
Well, and that's my thing is that, like, yes, okay, oh, Sutton said some nice things that like came with her with the divorce thing, but then the LA Times article comes out. Then they start to learn more of like what's going on and what's happening, and Sutton just wants answers. Like all the other women do, and Sutton's the one who says it out loud on camera, whereas the other women aren't willing. They're all willing to talk about Erika behind her back on camera and probably behind her back off camera, but Sutton's the only one who's willing to do it on camera. So then Sutton gets crucified by Erika and by other people too, where it's like, wait a minute. Things change. And so you can still be supporting your friend. That's why also like the issue with like going back to Kyle and Morgan, it's like, and just actually like some of the other women, like Garcelle was saying, even Bose was saying, how can I be close to you and support you if these large parts of your life you're consciously hiding from us, if you're not telling us about it? You know what I mean? If you're being deceitful and trying to, trying not to
Yeah.
trying to say basically there's nothing here. There's something different between saying there's something here and I cannot talk about it. I can't talk about it on camera. I can't talk about, later on, Erika was finally saying, I can't legally talk about these things. And the women were like, okay, that we understand. But before it was just nothing's going on. I don't know about those women. I don't know about those orphans. I don't know about Tom's victims. That's bullshit. Just say whatever. So that's where I go. That's again where I'm pissed off at Erika. And I go, well, I don't think Sutton's very wrong about that. You can feel however you want to, Erika, but I agree with Sutton in this, in Garcelle.
As a Housewives whisperer or coach, armchair coach, my thing is, like I said, they're all horrible people and I celebrate that. So I'm never I'm very rarely morally offended. I don't care. The worse you are to each other, the better for our entertainment. I think what Erika picks up on, maybe I'm trying to I try to see through all sides. How do I put it? Sutton stands very strong when she's asking answers from others, when she's coming for others. But like you said, come for her and she crumbles and she panics and she's the victim.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like Erika can go both ways. She can take it, she can dish it, and I'd be terrified to take it from her. We saw that dinner party or what?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that's where the frustration comes from, but no one's wrong here. I mean, Sutton has every right. Honestly, what Sutton said back in that LA Times thing where she called her lawyers, I understood that. I'm sorry, they've been dragged into a national scandal, and only a handful of people on here have something to lose. So no, I get it.
Yeah.
I just think,
absolutely.
Yeah. Erika kind of, to be honest, Erika handled her well on the boat, and that Erika didn't match her energy. I'll give her that. She was cussing. She was mocking, doing the faces, but she was not. She didn't give her that dinner party I'll rip your limbs off and beat you to death.
Well, because she wasn't sauced. So
I give her that. So she's I don't even know where I'm going. I'm wasting your time here. I was just trying to think of I don't know.
Well, it was the other example though of that Garcelle made that, hey, these women were coming for you and Kyle didn't have your back.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle did not have your back like you had her back literally the night before. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to let you twist in the wind and show you how your best friend Kyle doesn't have your back when I do. So then oh, there's a doggy. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see the dog that just visited Nate.
Mm-hmm.
But
I was so proud of Garcelle for doing that. That's what's always been have some, hold your own with that. When Sutton's in the room, it's you become, your whole thing is to not answer to Sutton, because I don't mean it that way. I just mean she feels so protective she loses herself and her voice because it gets frustrated. And I could see that too with others. So I feel when Kathy's on with Kyle feels a certain protective obligation to her sister. And I see that with Garcelle and Sutton. So that's why I'm I like Garcelle being no, figure it out yourself. I'm holding this is about, I need to watch after myself in this moment. So hopefully next week, the fist fight. Well, no.
I do think it was interesting that in the after show, Garcelle said that I didn't, speak up for you. And Sutton was like, well, I'm glad that you didn't, because they all would have attacked you basically for being with my lapdog, which is true. They would have. But I do think Garcelle was also nah. I could handle that. Like, yes, that would be
Yes.
annoying to hear that again, but it really was more about like, yo, I need you to take a look at who's not sticking up for you. Like Kyle's not, and actually, I'm sorry, Jennifer's not either.
Mhm.
Like, granted, she's just a friend of, but Jennifer's not doing it either. So.
Oh yeah, Jennifer and Kathy kind of have the same role this season. Absolutely, they are there for lifestyle, fun comments on the side. None of them. You have Jennifer's best friend Sutton there. You have Kathy's sister Kyle there. They're all like,
Well,
anyway.
Jennifer's great for a background shot of anytime something uncomfortable happens. It's just her in the background taking a big swig of whatever drink she has because she's just very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Our non-confrontational queens. Oh, what else happened?
That was pretty much it.
That was it, because then we just had Sutton wistfully looking off into the middle distance with the wind blowing in her face. Oh, and you could see the back of her cute little bikini there, Nate.
Oh, you don't.
I
have
know
to
you
tell
were
me.
looking.
Don't have to tell me.
Oh.
Well, on that note, what pathetic little bet. We haven't been to St. Lucia yet. I know I haven't, but if you want to help us get there, it costs you nothing. All you have to do to get us into I don't even know the name of the resort, the Windjammer. A point to it, subscribing is free. All you have to do is click. That's right.
Yeah.
Just click.
And we're only 47 subscribers away from our goal of 1,000 on YouTube. So if you've made it this far, just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button too.
Yeah.
That like button. Like, again, these are all free actions. They don't even take a second.
Yep.
They take
We're everywhere you turn. So we're not going away. So just get it over with and click now. But we are on, and we'll find you because we're on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts as well. Soon to be on OnlyFans.
Just stop teasing them.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to say goodbye?
You know you do.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, me? Ha 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 ha. Thank you for listening to our pathetic little podcast.
It's good. It's good.